Oh, hi there. It's Toofty here. How's it going? So, I did this video recently and it was my competitive nightmare and it's got a good response. Loads of people commented. Read through them all. I always like to go through my comments and I found some really interesting advice, opinions, insights, and some hilarious stuff in there too. So many elitists not helping their cause. We'll get to that in a second. But the first thing I'll say is you started to see these two extreme sides, the super casuals and the super competitive. And it's those comments I wanted to highlight to you guys. Let's just take a look at a couple, right? Comp equals bunch of old players that play on their low graphics because they say it helps them play better. Salty microphone raging tryhards that don't even play that well. I won't read it all through. You can pause and read it if you want. Someone who's not a big fan of the competitive player base, perhaps. Another one here, comp ruined TF2. Very minimal comment there. I don't really know how that could be possible, but you know, whatever. And then the other side of it, these are great, right? Wait for this. Welcome. So I feel like I have to do this in the voices that I imagine them being said in. Welcome to the competitive world, mate, yeah? Yeah, big time. This is where the big boys are, all right? Love it. The thing is, I don't know why people can't hear themselves when they type these things. These comments I'm going to go through, they reek arrogance to me. And do they know they're giving that vibe across? I don't know, maybe. I often see comments like that and you immediately know that their main objective is to tell the world how good they are. Let's have a look at another one here. Highlander is more casual than pubs. Now, I was a little bit confused about that one, but I think what he's trying to say is that I'm guessing he's a Sixes player and he's so blimmin' good that even Highlander is a joke to him, okay? So watch out, guys. And finally, noobs, pubbers, it's typical. Don't worry, just play more and you'll get used to it. And then he starts slagging off certain regions. I don't know if some are better than others. But anyway, what I wanted to demonstrate there was this basically super emphasises my point that there's a huge chasm between the world of pubs and the world of competitive. It's almost like a class divide or like a political divide, you know what I mean? Like, they don't want to hear each other's thoughts. Liberals and conservatives, Republicans and Democratic, wherever you come from, you know what I mean? You know, they don't want to talk to each other. The other team are the enemy and that's the end of it. And it feels a little bit similar here. Anyway, there were some super interesting comments as well, actually. I'll show you a couple now. So one guy said he thinks it's almost a good thing that it can be a little bit of hassle to get into competitive because it weeds out those people who don't take it seriously, which is interesting because the more I read these kind of comments, I started to realise that maybe I'm just not cut out for it. Maybe I just will never want to take a video game that seriously. I've got a theory of why that is and I'll talk about that in a sec. And this one really hit home for me. Competitive is something that is enjoyable with the right people. He said it's easier said than done. To enjoy it to its fullest, you need to find the people who are sane enough to not get angry once you make a mistake and serious enough to give you real feedback to improve your game. I think finding the right people is literally spot on. If I had 8 friends, you know, of a similar age and maturity and sense of humour and that kind of thing, and we all were up for just starting a team, it wouldn't matter if we won or lost or how well we did. We'd just get on and we'd have a laugh and we'd gradually improve and give feedback. With Highlander, you got a relatively large number of people to actually manage. Just even getting them all together in the same place at the same time, especially at my ancient age. I can't arrange a gathering of friends these days because everyone's just busy doing stuff. Right, so let's get down to my point I wanted to get across to you guys, which I think is really interesting. So I think in my current situation, it is actually impossible for me to get into competitive TF2, the more I've thought about it, right? And let me tell you why. I'm a granddaddy. I have 2 days a week to dedicate to joyous activities, right? I get home fairly late. I'm not moaning, I just get home fairly late. I spend evenings with the missus. You know, you should probably occasionally chill with your missus. So I've got the weekend, right? So my number one goal for the weekend is enjoyment. To be honest, that's my number one goal in life. I think there's a name for that in philosophy, where your one goal is just happiness and enjoyment. Maybe we'll talk about that in a future episode. Let's not get too deep in this episode. So, my number one goal is enjoyment. I have hobbies, I have my YouTube channel and my Twitch channel, and it sounds like, from reading all your comments, that if I wanted to get into competitive TF2, I'd have to turn up my seriousness, if you like, spend way more time dedicated to the game. So I think I'd have to quit my YouTube channel. Editing takes a long time, right? So I'd have to ditch that and I'd have to just practice my face off, get in a team and all that stuff. I'd be spending a lot of time just trying to seriously get better, right? And I don't think, taking a step back, I don't think I'd enjoy my weekends as much as I do now if I was to do that. So I feel like the version of competitive TF2 as it is now is just simply not available for someone in my position. Someone who's played the game for ages, loves playing the game, loves enjoying the game, but just doesn't have time. Well, doesn't want to dedicate all of their spare hours into becoming amazing at TF2 and competing. which is a shame because is it just available for people who are students or people who don't have other hobbies? I don't know. Maybe for younger people. If there's anyone out there, I'd love to hear from you. If there's anyone out there who are old and have like bills to pay, all that good, boring, juicy stuff, and they still manage to squeeze in competitive TF2. I'm pretty sure there must be some people out there. Yeah, let me know how you juggle it all. I'd love to hear from you. Maybe it's just a thing where they play in the week. It's not really something I can do without risking a divorce, shall we say. You know, you're knackered after work. I can't jump straight onto a video game every day after work. This makes me think, I talked about this in my previous video, the first rung of the ladder is super high. It's a big step, right, from pubs to competitive. We get it, everyone in the comments agreed with me and they wanted to remind me of that, but I think what I'd really love to see is a lower rung on the ladder. I don't know how this would work, but like basically a very casual version of competitive TF2. I know that doesn't make any sense, it's like casual comp, they don't go together, but maybe they should. And maybe it is just matchmaking, and if that worked, that would be it. Maybe all my ranting and all these videos are just boiling down to the fact that we need a matchmaking, and I think everyone was a little bit aware of that already. Feels like there needs to be an environment where people can just, you know what, I play once a week. We've got this little team together. I only play once a week. I'm not the best at TF2 ever in the world, but I'd love to play in a competitive environment. And I think TF2 Centre and that kind of thing is kind of what I'm after, but at the same time, it's still there's still a little bit of elitism within that environment too. And also the waiting times and stuff like that. It's just a nightmare. Going back to what I was talking about earlier, it's all about enjoyment. I do not want to spend 30 minutes waiting for a game. Although to be fair, someone did make the valid point that I can actually be in a pub waiting for a game, so that's fair enough. So just imagine if there was a super low tier of TF2 competitives. We have like Steel, right? I think they've gotten rid of some of the different tiers, but if there was one like a really low one, I mean first timers low. And a lot of you guys have chatted to me about newbie mixes, which I really appreciate. I'm going to be looking into that. Unfortunately, it's only 6v6, I believe, and I haven't properly looked into how it works. I'm hoping it's dead simple. I'm sure it's not, but we'll see about that. But yeah, that's going to be something I'm going to look into, and maybe I'll make a future video about that. But yeah, I just think it would be really cool if there was a really low tier competitive environment where you could just play once a week and that was enough and you didn't have to practice every day. I don't know how we'd keep those super good players out because for some reason those super good players seem to like playing against people who aren't as good as them, as I noticed while I was playing in ETF2L. I don't know how you'd keep them out. Maybe it's like a first timers league. Maybe if there was a way of proving that this was your first ever time in the league. It's literally just crazy. There's a big old mismatch of people and the people who get to the top can advance to the next level. And I feel like I'm just describing matchmaking and how it should work, right? So I don't know. It sounds like that might be the conclusion and what this boils down to. One of the comments I forgot to mention, a very useful comment. So this guy says, Toofty lacked positioning, game sense and DM really. I played against him on week 5. Thanks for that. Thanks for that constructive feedback. I replied saying, luckily I was good at all the other stuff. Now, I think that piece of sarcasm is going to go over this guy's head. There are no other things. This guy's basically calling me rubbish, which, again, is fine. It's a bit pointless. I feel like this guy's objective is to say, hello world, I'm amazing at TF2, I'm better than this YouTuber, and that's pretty much it. That's all he wants to say. But anyway, what are you going to do? Guys, if you're desperate to tell the world how good you are, just remember the world doesn't care, okay? I feel like it's a maturity. I'm guessing these people are young, maybe 15, 16, and they're like, arrogant and like just absolutely love themselves. I don't know, I'm getting that vibe. And in my defense, just one last thing. Every time I had a one-on-one, I did fine. I did okay. DM really is just your ability to one-on-one with someone. And I'm pretty sure, you know, hazy memory, it was traumatic, but I'm pretty sure I won most of my one-on-ones. They didn't happen very often, obviously, but when they did, I'm pretty sure I often came out on top. Anyway, yeah, little follow-up video for you guys. I hope there were some interesting points in there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I don't think there's any way for someone like me to get into competitive TF2, right? With my life priorities I have, the time I have, I just don't think it's possible, which is a shame. I guess in the end it comes down to there being some kind of in-between space between casual and competitive, which you might call matchmaking, where someone like me can sort of dip into once a week, maybe create a team, have some fun, but not worry so much and not have to deal with these people who take it very seriously. And that's fine. By the way, I should mention, it's totally fine to take TF2 seriously if that's what you enjoy, if that's what you want to do. Just before we wrap up this video, I just wanted to go through some very quick thank yous because you guys, as always, have given me a bunch of lovely gifts and I very much appreciate it. So let's go through the list. Some of these may have been a while ago. I like to group them up and do them all at once. So, Blood Feud. Apologies if I'm butchering these names, by the way. They've given me the Festivized Shell Shocker, an Assassin Grade rocket launcher. Thanks very much. It's a juicy rocket launcher, it really is. Carl Creasy, a veteran of the Toofty stream. He's been here since the beginning, so thanks for joining us. He's given me a bunch of things. He's given me a Kill Streak kit, a Civic Duty Mark II scattergun, a Civil Servant Mark II sniper rifle, and I can't read that, but a Mark II knife of some kind, so I'll show it on the screen anyway. Wham, with an exclamation mark, because that's the kind of guy he is, has given me the Allfather, the Marksman, the Dr. Dapper top, and the tipped lid. A lovely selection of hats, if I do say so myself. And to Benny, who gave me some metal and a Demo Man profile background. He said he didn't have much to give, but I appreciate that. And next to Lipo, who has given me the Bonk Helm, the Pithy Professional, the Dread Hiding Hood, and the Pocket Raiders, I think that says. Very juicy indeed. You got something a little bit edgy, you got something a little bit wacky. Something for everyone, right? Next up is Afmic. I believe he joined me on one of my streams and wanted to give me something, so he has given me the Messenger Mail Bag. And finally to, I think it says Bat Banana, or something along those lines. They have given me the neckwear headwear. Thanks very much everyone, I really appreciate it. You know, your donations mean a lot, so thank you very much. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
So they wanted to know if we're gonna do any memes this map.
No, we were all playing very seriously.
Very seriously.
Very seriously, yeah.
Guys, I just want you to know this is a meme-free zone, and there's a $500 fine for meming, so you might want to watch that out.
How many is that in?
Well, I mean,
Fredos?
considering America has the best currency and everything European is bad, I'd say it's roughly $1 billion. Whatever euro dollary dues you got.
There's a lot of them.
Ah, CJ, sucker, Steve. I don't know how to finish that. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Sometimes you just don't gotta finish. You just gotta edge.
Just gotta leave it. Just dot dot dot. Like out of the frying pan. Dot dot dot. Right. Just
Listen,
leave it there.
from what I understand, the current trend is just edging. So just edge. You know what I mean?
Edging's bad for your
Never
prostate.
finish.
Consult your doctor.
Ready, Van? Ready?
Yeah.
Let's roll.